Yeah, so this is my first solo BBC. Um, I thought initially to share about something uh, related to experience in Abbey. Since like last year, I landed here for a long period, and then I think of what is inspiring me. So I learned this term. My name is Professor Nam Talk. Yeah, it means professional in non-stop talking. So non-talk. Yeah. So I earned my professional degree from this University of Self-Grasping and of the Inherent Existence. So I think that every one of you also come from the same university. So today I thought to share of some inspiration started from my father. So Venerable, would you able to share the screen? So this is a picture that I obtained from somebody else. I don't know where. It's a very beautiful picture. And then the time that when the first time I was with my father to an art gallery, and I was looking at a Picasso picture, and I asked my dad, what kind of BS is it? I was like, I cannot actually comprehend. My dad told me this. The artist's sense of the nature is only able to be comprehend when you zoom in and zoom out. You look at it from the sides and see from a different angle and use your heart to feel it. So when I experienced some problems, when I landed here, and then a lot of frustrations and so forth, and then it went into meditation and suddenly this image popped up. I mean, randomly. And this is my perfection of Nam Talk. When I have problem, it will come to this. And the first thing is I look at I was imagining this picture. What does this picture means? And then I recall that how I was in this situation. I was the kids that born in the environment that is destructed. And destructed in what sense? Destructed in environment, which is of people. Environment in sense of like maybe poverty, or maybe lack of love, or lack of a situation that able to receive a proper emotional training, in a sense. And I feel I so frustrated, anger that dominated my mind. And what I actually intend to do is only to destruct further. Because I do not know how to manage my emotion, manage my anger. So when I see things that is not getting along with me, everything just go inward and destruct. And it destruct myself, destruct my family relationship. That was how that I decided to leave my parents when I was 21 years old. So, and the life of these destructions go on and on and on, and it never stops. And then I feel so much fear in myself and feeling that what has gone wrong with me? What has gone wrong with this environment that caused me harm? Why I need to deserve this? And then when the time that I encounter Buddhism, especially when I encounter Venerable, it's like suddenly I have looking into the Buddha and cry. And I said, I have enough. Please show me the way. And then this Buddha just looked at me with a compassion and hugged me. It is okay, boy. It is okay, boy. Without judgment. And that was like soothing. And suddenly, these scenes of like pain switch. the object and subject switch. And then I look at it. That is the boy that I was looking at. I am now an adult that experienced what the boy has been done. And then I look at it. It is okay, boy. It's okay, boy. Because I feel that I have no right to be angry to somebody who has lack of resources or didn't know how to be happy. He's just a kid. Come on, right? Without knowing a teacher, without knowing how to appreciate love, without seeing what is karma and the cause of karma. So, how could I actually continue to blame and planted these hatred seeds to someone is already locked up in the misery? So, and I find this relief, and I thank this little boy too for all the causes and conditions, the kindness that he has created, that allowing me to recognize somebody who lead me to the Dharma, venerable children, the Abbey monastics, that empower me to embark on this path, especially in Abbey, that having me to experience all this in a small little ripening factors. It is very beautiful. And I see these two things happen together. One is actually ripening of negative karma, but also propelling cause of the positive karma as well as the completion of the positive karma all together. The boy did something good as well as something bad. Now is a time for me to grow up as a Dharma adult. How is to recognize the cause that created by the boy, and I have to be responsible to myself so that when next time another adult look at me, which is my future me, and look at, thank you, boy, you created a good cause that allowed me to experience Dharma. So by seeing this in the first view of I suffered, I would like to renounce this cause of suffering. And then suddenly this image changed again. And then this image is the environment, the boy is my father and mother. That I lack of this ability to recognize what are the suffering environment that they went through. Difficult. And only 15 years ago, when I came to Abbey, I start to have a glimpse of how selfish was I. And then how actually I predetermined that my parents don't love me. And it's very interesting. Venerable that they mentioned, she counseled somebody who, her student of hers, that had the depression, that her parents love him. I don't know whether she refers to me, but she did tell me the same thing. That moment is a recognition of how the self-centered thought of me misinterpret a lot of suffering of my parents. And then suddenly this image changed again, and see this little boy that have a lots of the different aggregates symbolizing the ripening factors of all the suffering of all sentient beings. The phenomena, environment, that is so painful. Do I want to spend my time, beating myself up and continue to actually tell the story of my pain, and my pain? It is time to grow up. That is how that suddenly I see the eyes of the Buddha. How to become a Buddha. Because the teacher, like Venerable Children, is the one who lead me to understand my heart, understand the value of love. Can I be like her? Can I be actually fully cultivate this potential of kindness, able to recognize the love for my parents, and also the love that all the past life parents that have been so kind to me. And then by seeing this and duplicate this image again and again, again and again, I do not want them to suffer. It is okay, Dad and Mom, don't hold the guilt in your heart. It is free now. And I really feel these connections that how to free myself from this suffering is to free myself from this view of how I recognize my parents and the first steps, and how to be having this self-compassion on myself too. And then the third one that appear is the Buddha is a form of the wisdom, but without recognizing the compassion on the sentient beings who is a little boy, the path will not be complete. I can have a wisdom. I can have a wisdom of an arahat. I can have wisdom of the perfect peace. But what does it mean? That suffering will still go on. So that's how that I see this environment is created by the suffering of the human beings or all the six realms. The suffering is actually created by my own mind on myself, that grasping on these, I want because this is my happiness. And then this is similar to all the sentient beings. And then suddenly everything just shattered. And then there is a peace that arises that, well, that is the path. That is the path. And this is so wonderful that I'm able to understand like how this dependent arising works and so forth. Because all the positive things, all the negative things are leading me to this state of the mind. And I thought to end a very beautiful verse from the four, what's that called, the verse from the dedication from the Chinese tradition. I heard this very first time when my grandmother died, and it was recited in the mother tongue that that I use. And it's actually a very special dialect, very similar to Taiwanese. I will recite it in my own mother tongue, and then I will recite it in English. I'll translate that. I don't know whether it works. 觀世極樂淨土中，九品蓮花為父母，花開見佛有無生，提菩薩為伴侶. It means the wish to be born in the Pure Land, to be awakened. Like Venerable says, knock, 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 how come the superlative flower haven't opened? Actually, the superlative flowers, the 9 grades, are because of the sentient beings. May I have this witness of the sentient, the blossom of the lotus, and to realize that there is no rebirth, no more rebirth. And I will continue to abide in the Bodhisattva way to liberate all the sentient beings. And this is to honor whoever who taught me the skills and also the understanding of love.